Listen, McCooks, Mr. Wilson, honored to have you here. Well, my wife and I have been married for 45 years. We had our anniversary. Yep, 45 years. I like to tell the story that my wife and I and 8 other couples here in southwest Nebraska were married in about a 1.5 year period. 1.5 years, there were 8 couples and us, 9 total, married. Back in 1973, and with that in mind, the first couple to drop was the man and the woman had an infant, just had an infant child, and for whatever reason, that woman was in bed getting ready to go to sleep, and she sat up and screamed bloody murder, her husband right beside her, and she dropped dead. He then later remarried, and he and that woman and the then child that was the infant of the first woman, all 3 of them had a semi run over them and kill all 3. One by one, though, divorce took the others. The first one was about 3 years. They got a divorce. Then 5 and 7 fell. And with that in mind, over the next many years, up to the last one to get a divorce was on their 24th wedding anniversary, or within that 24th year, they got a divorce. Out of that 8 couples left, 7 got divorced. So in other words, my wife and I, out of that 9 couples, we're the last one still married at 45 years. You might ask how, and of course without question I saw in high school, as you did too I bet, people fall in and out of love very quickly. And so I didn't have a lot of respect for the word love, but I did ask God Almighty to give me a loyal woman, because I thought if I had a loyal woman, she'd stick around in the bad times. She'd stick around. And I've never regretted that request. And he sure gave it to me without question. I would also point out that I said I will never even date a woman that smokes. I didn't want that part being a problem because I was so anti-smoking. I used a little bit of common sense there. But on my wedding day to my wife, my grandmother, she took me off to the side and in another room closed the door behind us. And she said, that little girl that you're about to marry, she'll be the best friend you ever had, or she'll be the worst enemy you ever had. And you get to decide which. And she said, no matter what, you never speak bad of her in front of anyone else. Never speak bad to her and of her. Okay? She said also, never degrade or make fun of her in front of her. Don't do that. She said there's enough of the world that'll make fun of her and degrade her and try to put her down. She doesn't need her husband to do that, without question. She said that everything that you buy, put her name on it. She's an equal portion of this family, and treat her as that. Don't treat her like a second-class citizen, or worse yet, a slave. She's equal in every possible way, including in the bank accounts and anything else that you have your name on. My grandmother gave me some very good advice. And the last thing she said is wait 5 years before you have children, before you even consider having children. That time period will be the glue that allows you both to learn to know each other and love each other. That 5 years will be invaluable. We followed her rules, including that one, and we have never regretted it. I hope that all of you will be able to hit that 45-year mark and keep going far beyond that. It's well worth doing. Thank you for your time.